So the House Oversight Committee just released a bunch of Epstein files, and it really paints a dark picture of what this man was doing. So I don't know if you remember a while back, the Wall Street Journal just made a report of some very prominent celebrities and political figures just sending some congratulations to Jeffrey Epstein with some letters that they sent. One of these celebrities was Donald Trump, and he allegedly sent a picture with a drawing of a woman which had some really creepy text in hindsight. Now, this text, which they released a little while ago, it could not be understood the way it is if you didn't know who this guy is. Now, if you know who Jeffrey is, this text sounds really creepy. So let's go over it. So you had this alleged drawing that Donald sent for the 50th birthday of Jeffrey that he vehemently denied, right? He said he never does drawings, therefore this cannot be anything he did. But then the Wall Street Journal is coming out with receipts and they are just releasing the photos. So depending on whether you believe this is Donald's real signature or not, uh, you will either believe it or not. So let's go over it. So I am not going to read this text. If you have seen the previous reports, you can pretty much go over it. And if you are seeing the picture here, you can read it. So the parts I want to kind of go through are two, right? So first, the Wall Street Journal definitely had this, which, for example, JD Vance was saying, okay, if you have this, why haven't you released it? And it seems they just called his bluff because they not only released it, it seems it's also part of these files that the Oversight Committee is releasing. And in it, you can see pretty much the voiceover, and you can see what they said previously that it was the signature from Donald Trump. Now, I don't think this is him trying to draw pubic hair like they allege when they did their initial reporting. I think this is just signing the letter. And as I said, if you didn't know who Jeffrey is, this probably could be passed off as nothing. But in hindsight, it does look really bad. So now, this is not the darkest of the pictures that I have seen today. This is one of the, I guess, mildest ones. Let's go over the other ones because this one, for example, sorry, sorry, I'm coming up with the flow. So yeah, there's that. So this one, for example, it's a really creepy picture because this guy has been rumored to be part of to be an intelligence asset, right? And he's been rumored to be part of the CIA or Mossad. And man, this picture sure is not going to put out any smoke about that. So there is a picture of him with a woman whose face has been covered up by you know, good old redacting rectangle. And under it, it has a note which says, he's the boyfriend of Redacted. We think he works for the CIA, which in hindsight is really creepy given what this guy did and given what he has been accused of. Now, you could believe that this is just a coincidence, this was just someone trying to be funny, but that text sure doesn't seem to be funny. I mean, if they were trying to do a joke, I don't know if it's because of what we know about him, it doesn't sound funny or something like that. But if they were trying to do a joke, there were 1,000 ways in which they could have made it funnier. I don't know who this person is, but this picture is sure it's going to bring a lot of attention to it. And I'm guessing we will hear about it a lot more in the coming days. But then this one is kind of dark, right? But this one is not as dark as this one, which I'm going to show you right now. So this one, for example, this is two pictures. One of them is a picture of George W. Bush with his face erased in a very creepy way. I don't know what it's supposed to mean. But then the other one, the interesting one, it's a cartoon. It doesn't have signature. I don't think it is detailed on this guy's feed on X. Who drew this, but it basically shows two pictures, right? There is, or yeah, it's supposed to be two pictures in a cartoon. Uh, so one of them is showing him showing some balloons to clearly underage girls, and it's got a caption on the bottom that says 1983. Now the other one, it's another picture to the right, or another drawing to the right, which shows him 20 years later taking the sun on a beach, surrounded by semi-naked women, performing a massage or some sort of it's some sort of erotic massage. You could interpret it as being just a massage or some sort of erotic massage, and it's really creepy. I don't know how do you make the association of showing balloons to girls and then 20 years later being surrounded by women. And I think this is a clear analogy to grooming. I mean, there is no way that you can reasonably interpret it as any other thing than grooming. I don't think this is just him being, grateful that he was able to show balloons and then being surrounded by women, or at least, with what we know about him, this is really creepy. So I don't know, man. Make what you will about it, but I think this picture really is showing that this guy was really great a creep, and there is no if, ands, or buts about it. The American government will have to release more about it. I don't think the American people are going to put up with it any longer, because what this shows is that this guy is probably everything that has been rumored about him, and that there is some prominent political figures that knew what this guy was doing and they didn't say anything and probably partook in what he was doing. So yeah, this has taken a very dark turn. I think conspiracy theories are going to be jumping up and down with it, and this fire has just gotten bigger. So yeah, this is pretty much it for this one, guys. So if you have any feedback, please let me know. If you liked it, please like it, and if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe. And I know I'm butchering the English language right now, but I got a flu, and yeah, it's not being kind to me right now. But anyways, this is it for this one, and I'll see you guys around. Thank you so much.